All right, trade pros, welcome to today's afternoon futures update. This is Mark from Trade Pro Academy headquarters coming at you guys from Toronto, Ontario here on this beautiful Monday, August the 12th, 2019. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys. So you might be seeing me a little bit delayed if you guys are typing in any of the chats. I will be seeing that a little bit delayed just because of the way that this new YouTube is run. So we got to use a third-party app here, but that's okay. Hello, George. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So here we are on today's session, guys. As George mentioned in the morning update, not too much as far as overnight drivers tonight or overnight. And US session also relatively flat as far as actual economic data is concerned. Nothing really on the agenda of high impact, or rather of high impact releases. We do have a federal budget balance coming in at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. Eastern. However, this thing is marked as a light impact event, so not really expecting too much as far as a volatility. As far as volatility is concerned, on the back of that announcement, we did have one squawk, an interesting squawk coming out of China today, which kind of confirmed that that meeting in September is not very likely anymore. And that came from the Chinese Global Times editor-in-chief, Hu Zhijin, who tweeted that the People's Daily, which is China CPC's official newspaper, can't get that abbreviation for some reason. CPC's official newspaper mentioned that they will publish a long article on Tuesday vowing China can defeat any challenge and pressure of the US. The signal sent by this kind of article is stronger than signal of US senior officials' remarks. The US should not underestimate China's will. So, pretty aggressive statement there. And what that really means, if you read between the lines, is, like I said, that meeting between US and China anticipated to be in September is not looking very likely. And on the back of that tweet, which came out at 11:01 a.m., we did see a pretty nice little spill on the equity markets. SPOOs just spilled below the 2,900 on the back of that, all the way down into the 28.89 halves or so. So a bit of a spill on the back of that. However, we have more or less recovered those losses, and we're pretty much back at the previous day low, which, as we were signing out from the room, some of the traders should be potentially short here since we got the setup we were looking for shortly after we signed out. So anyone that was in the elite room, you guys know who you are. Hopefully you guys are on that short side and making some bank here. So let me jump back to the YouTube page. Hey, Pele, good to see you in here, man. So that's what we got as far as news drivers. Nothing really else on the agenda as mentioned. Nothing really on the squawks either. So quite a relatively quiet day, and the volume's looking okay. It's actually not bad volume for today's session, considering the state of the overnight drivers or lack thereof. But let's go ahead and switch onto this chart here so you guys can start seeing my quote board and get some of these levels in so that you have an idea of what are some key levels, some lines in the sands for the buyers and for the sellers on both of these markets. So let me just find this little guy, get the camera off of myself and onto the charts, and that is what you guys should be seeing at the moment. So on this left hand side you have the EPU. These are the S&P 500 contracts, and you guys can see 964,000 contracts on the session so far. Pretty good volume rather. And at this point in time, looking like a potential transitory environment. We did break the overnight lows on the SPOOs. However, we reclaimed them quite quickly, and we do look to be pressing back towards the open and the VWAP. So at the moment, previous day low has been good resistance that has held for a majority of the session, and that kind of remains the status quo until it doesn't. So as long as the previous day low has not been broken by the bulls, you can look for a little bit more downside However, as it stands, I'm just seeing dips from that level are getting a little bit shallower and shallower on each rotation down, which means we might have a bit more of a buy stop release to come. So that's what we have on SPOOs. On crude, we have pretty light volume, 440,000 contracts on the session so far. Daily change percentage, we are up marginally, 0.59% from the previous day close. Your previous day close came in at the 54.30s, and we are currently at the 54.80s. So marginal gain on the crude side, and SPOOs, still down from the previous day close, which was 24 quarter, and we're at the 28.99 quarter at the moment. So bit bearish on the session here for these US equities, and a little bit mixed here on crude, to be quite frank. We're looking for a breakdown of the previous day close, and she did hold, and now we are back at resistance level where we might see some more selling starting to come in. So we'll take a look at that in a second, but that is what the quote board is showing us. As far as the pivots are concerned, you guys can see crude is kind of trying to stage a bit of a rally here, pressing off of those lows. Nice little consolidation, breakout, a little bit of consolidation, a little failed breakout attempt to the downside. We pressed the upside, failed that as well. Now we're kind of rotating back up into it. So we'll be interested to see what this level holds for us right around these 54s, or sorry, these 55s, and the previous day high around these 92s. So you guys can see, we had one nice sell-off from there, one nice sell-off from there, two nice sell-offs from there. Now we're kind of recovering from that VWAP back up into that level, and so this is where I'd look for the sellers to start jumping back in, press this guy back down. If the sellers are unable to hold this level as a ceiling, we'll likely get a pop above that previous day high, which will give us a rotation, some support, and then look to press it back to the current session highs. So that's what we got for crude. As far as the SPOOs are concerned, bit of a snoozer, to be quite honest. We did break below that low, rotated up. Today's session broke below the pivot. We've kind of been around the previous day's low. We did try it, rotated up, tried it again. Now we're rotating up. So again, this kind of comes in line with the stigma that we're kind of looking to transition back to the upside. We've had a couple of chances. There was one chance to break that low, couldn't quite do it. Two chances to break that low. That time we broke, but now we're right back above. And this is 12:22. This is a 1 hour bar, and within 22 minutes we've reclaimed that S1. And so it's looking like she might want to press on a bit higher. That really should have been the one that gets you back down. That's not what happened. We in fact got back up above it. So you still have some resistance around the open VWAP, but what I am seeing is each of these dips is getting a little bit shorter and shorter as we are climbing higher, which has me thinking, upside is probably where we want to go. Where would we be looking for the upside? Right around the 08s to the 10s is where I'm seeing some offers showing up on the charts at the moment. Hey, Champ Phil. Thanks for that kind feedback. Love to see you show up, come on in and engaging with the channel. It's awesome to see. So that's basically what we have as far as these markets, guys. Line in the sand for the bears. Just mentioned your open and the VWAP on the SPOOs. Line in the sand for the bears on crude is right around this current level, 54.85s to these previous day highs. You'll want to see some selling coming in order for a potential press on lower. So that's really what we got for the session. Let me throw on the TRADEPRO Performance Index for you guys, and then we'll wrap this sucker off. So today's date, August 12th, not the best results in the room. We did finish 60.66% positive, just under 40% up, just under 23% down, and just under 40%, sorry, just under 23% flat and just under 40% down. So overall, green day, a little bit more difficult in the morning part of the session. There was a couple of quick moves, and then we had that tweet coming out of China, and that gave us some good volatility, which a majority of our traders actually went from red back to green on that on the back of that. So we are not momentum traders, but we do love volatility, especially being day traders. So when we do have volatility, trade pros generally tend to do really, really well. You get days like these 84% days, 75% days, 79% days. And even on the days where it's not as directional, we still often do really, really well. In fact, we usually have one red day every quarter or so. So every 3 months or so, we typically have one red day. A majority of the time, what you are seeing is positive results. And that speaks to the quality of traders that are in our community, and that speaks to the work and really the work ethic of the traders in the community, because these numbers are based on their results and not on ours. So good little wrap up there. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I do apologize for not jumping on Friday, but we were a little bit tight as far as time was concerned. So that is going to be a wrap on today's session. As always, if you guys enjoy these, please make sure to smash that like button. The like button is what gets us in front of people like yourselves. So if you are enjoying these, if you do think there's value for anybody else that might be in a similar situation where they're looking to get a little bit more information on this actual industry, and they want a channel that provides pretty much daily content, and we try to give you guys, the free value that we try to bring to you is honestly, we try to make it better than the paid content that other providers provide. So if you guys do think that is the case, please make sure to smash that like button, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll keep doing this, guy. Just keep on showing up, and let's build this thing out to be a really awesome community, YouTube. All right, so until then, remember to follow those 3 rules: patience, diligence, and discipline. Until tomorrow, guys, good luck and good trading. Take care, everyone. Ciao.